Hello everyone and welcome back to IEM Sydney 2018, and as much as we'd love to be cruising on the beaches right now, there is a red hot match as well, hotter than the beaches in summer in Australia. It is MVP up against Chiefs, and MVP just at the very end clinching the victory 16-14 on Nuke. Now we're jumping onto Inferno, which is the powerhouse of MVP, and things are starting to look a little bit scary for the Chiefs.
Yeah, it's unbelievable that Chiefs were able to make that one that close. Obviously, it was their map pick, but I felt like MVP was just ready to run away with that game, especially when they got up to that 8-1 lead on the CT side, 8-0. In fact, you know, Chiefs were only able to claw a few rounds back here and there due to, you know, winning ecos that they were pretty much given by MVP, as well as some individual brilliance from some of the Chiefs players rather than their overarching strategy, and it might have been undeserved, but their CT side, you can't complain about it. How many rounds did they string together in a row, Kev?
Are we talking about for Chiefs or MVP or both?
Chiefs,
at this stage?
no, Chiefs on their CT side.
Yeah, I mean, both sides stringed a lot of rounds together on their CT side, but it may be in that question of maybe 1 or 2 T rounds that the Chiefs desperately needed, and that's what we're talking about. When they got to that 5, they definitely gave themselves a good fighting chance, and sometimes we talk about, look, maybe MVP were dominating that half, but you just need one explosive performance coming out from Texter or from APOC, and we saw that coming into that T half for the Chiefs. There was that explosive performance, and that gave them all the opportunity. They made the most of it as well, but unfortunately, just that 4-2 retake at the end, just letting it struggle over a little bit too long, that was their downfall ultimately, and HSK just coming out and spraying them down. Now Inferno, it's a different ball game compared to Nuke, not as much verticality as you would say, and what we would consider as well MVP's stronghold, their bastion.
Yeah, here's the problem. I think Chiefs just lost that series when they lost that first map, to be honest. They've been first banning Inferno in the qualifier to come into this actual match. They didn't prepare on Dust 2, which means that they've had to veto that out as their first ban, and MVP's just gone, oh, you've been vetoing Inferno. Well, you better be prepared for us on it because it's our best map. I mean, we picked it up against G2. You got to be confident if you're going to pick it against one of the world's best.
Well, I mean, they got pretty badly hammered by G2, so
Absolutely.
I wouldn't take that as more of a, oh, pretty confident. Oh,
but you can never know if it's because of your map pick or if it's because Kenny S decided to roll his sleeves up and get ready to get into business for you.
Maybe it was just flash shoot at the end of the day, and Chiefs, obviously they're content with obviously coming into Inferno. They know that this is a map that it was going to be strong for MVP.PK. This has traditionally been their map pick, so for them to ban out Dust 2 and not Inferno means they are ready to fight for this. So I wouldn't count Chiefs completely out of it yet. I am just a little bit scared though, because MVP have been looking unstoppable on Inferno so far, and that is really the story. I don't think I've seen any Australian team really competing against them, and the fact that Greyhound last weekend, when, I mean, Cobblestone was still in the map pool, they went, we're not touching that. We're not playing Inferno at all. We're banning it out. Coming into that finals match we talk about for the seeding match for the APAC finals, that to me is indicative of the fact that it's just, you want to be avoiding it at this stage, especially in an elimination match. Hopefully Chiefs have something in their sleeves. I really hope so, because Magic does a lot of work on the back lines as they coach.
I mean, they would have to have had something in their sleeves when they went into picking Nuke, and they just looked absolutely lackluster on that T side. They were going for that team approach where, you know, you live by the team, you die by the team, follow what the caller says, and we'll try to get this done together. And it just showed they had such low frag counts, but they had a number of rounds to play with, which just literally means that they're taking the bomb sites, they're only getting the 1 or 2 impact kills across the board and the trades that they need to secure those bomb sites, and then MVP is forced to save rather than MVP pretty much slaughtering them in all of the other rounds. And Chiefs are going to have any chance on this map. It's going to be back down to the individual brilliance that we've seen 0% of from Chiefs. They need to let their individuals shine. This is going to have to be a vintage Texter performance. APOC's going to have to bring it back to all of those, you know, national titles that he's won, and Flix is going to have to be winning those impact rounds.
And all boils down to this map. MVP are going to be taking that 1-0 lead coming into Inferno, as it's going to be pretty much a stock standard pistol from MVP.
Yeah, look, they've just used the HE nades to deny any aggression from Chiefs taking the top of Banana, and then they're going to set up for an execute. This is all going to be down onto Zine. He's so good at taking the apartments. The rest of this series, just watch Zine control the apartments on both the T and the CT side. He's one of my favorite players to watch in any position on this APAC, whole APAC region. Inferno, going to be one of MVP's best, and going to see what Chiefs going to be able to do. It's just APOC left here on this A side. They did stack towards B, but MVP doesn't seem very interested. Zine hasn't seen anything go towards the apartments.
Yeah, but this is the classic MVP where Chiefs are trying to out-read MVP in this scenario, because normally you expect MVP to be hitting the B bomb site on the pistol. So obviously this is a counter-strat coming out deliberately designed to target MVP in this scenario, but they've modified it. They're going over to the A bomb site instead, so actually no contact made for both sides. It is going to be the bomb plant going down, the retake commencing for the CTs. They've got a long way to rotate around. They have to bypass Glow first. He's going to be hearing them coming down Nana, and the Glock at close range is absolutely lethal. One head rolling, maybe the second one as well. Two heads will definitely be rolling right now. It's just up to the matter of who it's going to be. Bullet's going to be depleted. Clips retrieved. It's going to be APOC eventually picking up the kill, but it's still a long time for the CTs to rotate in, and as they're rotating in, time is ticking away. Still solo in Graveyard. It is going to be the Graveyard for the Chiefs, because too much time, I think, is ticked away for Stone to come back into the bomb site. Can't retrieve the kit. Can try to get at least a little bit more damage and force it to be costly for MVP. Buying back up. But that is it. First round in the favor of MVP.
Chiefs with the risky pistol stack, and it doesn't work out for them for a couple of reasons, really. I mean, they showed no presence towards Nana with the CT pistols. That's immediately fishy. Like, as a CT with the USPs, you want to be at least going for that quick headshot at the start of the round, maybe trying to see what you can get done with that. As well as the fact that APOC, he didn't really do a good enough job on the A site, gathering information in a risk-free manner for Chiefs, which meant that by the time MVP had already taken the bomb site and there was a smoke down, Chiefs weren't even rotating yet. Bomb timer starts, and they still have 20 seconds to make it across the other side of the map, and that's not even start with the positions MVP had put themselves in to punish some of those rotations. Looks like they're just going to set up for a set piece towards B. Like we said, you either play passive and you punish some of the pushes, or you set up the minimal risk play like an execute against the pistols, that is.
I mean, that HE nade has done a ton of damage. That incendiary grenade as well forces Texter off. We've seen this on the anti-eco coming out from MVP before, and you can see how well it works on the back of the MAC-10. So already no contact or no visuals have been spotted from either side, but a lot of damage done to the CTs, which means it's going to be easier for MVP to roll in and actually get the kills. But still, you do not want to be underestimating the powers of the P250 as well as the Desert Eagle. And here we go, the MAC-10's coming into the site. Tark's going down to the Molotov very quickly on. And the MAC-10's cleaning up the damage already done by the grenades thrown earlier. Bomb plant should be going down in B. Chiefs now just looking for any exits possible. But it's going to be 2-0 very early on in the set piece in Inferno.
Once again, Chiefs on their CT pistol, they realize how important the balance of their economy is. They don't actually commit to the pistols and the armor. Probably not feeling too confident about winning those kind of rounds, but this spot has been pretty popular lately in terms of just getting the exits of people crossing out of that B side. Flicks gets taken out quickly by Zine, and 4 guns retained, even though they are with the MAC-10s. I mean, against the unarmored USPers or P250ers from Chiefs in this round, that's going to be a lot of money for PK. And I'll tell you what, they are pretty used to retaining those MAC-10s moving forward into the next couple of rounds, because they're not afraid to take those into a gun round. They love that.
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely seen Solo just decide to go drive-by up in Nana alongside with Zeph, just looking to pop some heads off. So I wouldn't be surprised actually to see Chiefs actually invest in more helmets coming into the buy round. They do have the luxury. We are going to see an HE nade stack out coming from the Chiefs. Nade's going to be flung down, and Zeph, he's going to be needing to head to the hospital ED department, and now a lot of damage being done on the back of the pistols. They had the luxury of buying up a few P250s and HE grenades and not forcing all in.
Oh,
and Solo getting the tick as well. Flicks coming out through the Molotov. 2 kills on the USP. Now, this is a very, very messy round coming out for the MVP side. They've managed to retrieve a Molotov as well. This is going to slow Glow's progression up. And runs in the APOC. 2 low HP members. Still winnable for Glow, but a lot of damage done. And that's all down to Glow on a 1-on-2. Sterling just going to be sitting behind the car with the AK-47, waiting for him to make contact with Flex, and Sterling's going to complete the clutch out, and that is a huge round coming out from the Chiefs. Once again, the Pistols able to win on the back of the HE nade stack, and MVP, they'll have enough money to buy. Now, that was a costly round.
Very fortunate for Chiefs there, and that's going to get them off on the right foot on MVP's map pick. really going to harm MVP's economy a lot at this point. I mean, they weren't able to make too much money off those Mac 10s despite retaining 4 of them. And look at this. Glow hasn't even got any utility. The rest of them not suffering too much, but the Molotovs is probably one of the most crucial utilities to have on a map like Inferno. MVP just going to start things off fairly slowly. Molotov thrown out towards the top. HE doing a little bit of damage onto Zeph, and they're going to grab this Nana control, but Techstar, is he going to fight for this or fall?
Looks like he's slowly falling out. I wanted to say that Glow, the reason why he doesn't have utility, I'm fairly certain, is because he's dropped an AK-47 over in the hands of Solo, who didn't have enough cash to invest up. So Glow taking one for the team. A true team player in every essence, but sometimes you don't need the utility. Like I said, you don't have any utility on the belt. Guess what? What you're focusing on? Just getting the crosshair lined up on the enemy's head.
Speaking of no utility on the belt, absolutely no utility on the belt for MVP. Across the board, they've got barely anything. Look at this from Chiefs, using the Molotov to regain control of Nana, and they definitely are prepared for this Inferno. I mean, look at that structured retake of Nana. Molly onto the top of Car does a fair bit of damage to a lot of the MVP players, and then the follow-up flashbang. They're going to boost up in CT and give MVP a different look. And MVP, they're still spread all around the map. Zion hasn't got a much apartments control, and they only have Banana, so they really only have a couple things they can do with this limited utility from this point.
Yeah, so even though Chiefs, they did use a little bit of utility to regain Nana control, you can see how much time this is buying actually for the B site holders. And as we're dwindling away into the final 30 seconds of the half, the smoke is going to be used. Texter still waiting to drop the incendiary grenade. He's waiting down to the last 20 seconds before he has to. And this is dancing with fire. Literally, that incendiary grenade is going to be pushing MVP up. They've really only got 10 seconds to get the bomb plant down. They know Texter's going to be a first orange. Zion has managed to make his way through CT. A big hole in the CT defense. Texter's got so much work to do right now. MVP going to be collapsing on the B-bomb site. And out comes the incendiary grenade at New Box. He's holding it. Just needs to deny the bomb carrier. He gets the damage, but not the kill, which means that Chiefs will be going down in this round. Turling and Flicks just going to be backing off and saving their weapons. MVP, it was dire, it was dicey, but Zion able to get through jungle. Who was watching it?
Absolutely no one, and that's not too uncommon when it comes down to the CT side of Inferno. I mean, usually you just want to fall back to the bomb sites because some of those dig attacks that you can throw at the CTs on the T side, 1 or 2 smokes to nullify one of the players, and all of a sudden you're being crunched from carpets, from Diggity, with lots of flashbangs coming overhead, and you need really that third player to come in to complete the site hold, and that's what they relied on. They just want to give up the jungle control. Didn't think anyone was going to slip through there, and surprising that it's Zion because he's usually the apartments control player, but he makes the play that absolutely saves MVP, and that's in that regard. I mean, Techstar, a couple bullets in a different direction, or maybe if Zion does get caught out there, it's an easy Chiefs round. They did everything right, but sometimes you just can't account for that, you know, slip through from Zion, that individual brilliance.
Down to that individual brilliance, it means that Chiefs have to force up in this round. They were able to take 2 rifles in the next round, so we're seeing Sterling finally picking up the AWP. He's going to be looking for an opportunity at Banana. But once again, everything just slowing to the crawl on the back of these smoke grenades. Counter utility being used back and forth. And Zeph thinking about pushing up, but that incendiary grenade coming out from Techstar is going to mean he's going to think twice.
Yeah, MVP giving us a different look here, using the Fnatic smoke towards the top of Nana and Techstar. He's not going to let them have that for free. He's not going to let them have control of this Nana, the old car area. Even though he hasn't got a kill on the board yet, still not feeling too timid at this point, and the Molotov finally going to push Chiefs off. But you know what? They bought themselves 40 seconds. They really ran down the clock here on MVP, and Zion hasn't gotten too much apartments control. Usually he's all the way up there. Now he goes for it. Just making sure no one's pushing up in those apartments there.
I think it's a realization as well for MVP. They've gone, hang on a moment, maybe Chiefs have actually done some work into our game plan. We need to change up our approach a little bit. And you're coming into the elimination matches, you've made contact with the opponent. You need to be aware that Chiefs are prepared for you as an opposition. And you can see these micro adjustments because you're correct. They're taking Nana completely differently. They're taking apartments completely different to what we've been seeing from them in the past.
Thank God Sterling doesn't rotate off there. I felt like Texter checking the top of Banana. I didn't see any Ts whatsoever, and Sterling was about to rotate. Does pick Solo off, but that's going to give little information to Chiefs here.
Yeah, but now it's going to be an A-site crunch. It's actually drawn a rotation all the way into the apartment. Zion just jumping up. Greets Flicks with a big hug. He's going to jump down. Tux is actually here with a CZ. Didn't have enough money for a rifle. Still gets the kill, but it is going to be the A-bomb site lost. But APOC, He is on the hunt for kills. He's coming in from Diggity, but looks like Glow is watching the angle. 3-on-3. There's going to be one in pit. That's Zeph instantly deleting Texter. He can't do anything in this round. And now Apox swinging around with the UMP. At least able to find one. Buying a lot of time for Sterling to come over and potentially line up the AWP. But he can't get the trade. And now Sterling is now looking for a dire situation. He's got to go and save, or he's got to go in. And MVP, they're going to make up his mind for him. They're going to go on the hunt and just make sure the AWP is going to be dropped. So it looks like it's going to be a tech pause coming out. So a bit of a lull.
Late into that round, I mean, Solo just gets picked by the Coffins player. You know, Sterling decides to stick around. But the thing about how late in the round it's working there, how little information on the A side of the map that Chiefs have, doesn't matter if Solo gets picked. Once Sterling is still there and there's 2 people on B, his job's done. They got the 4 versus 3 on the A bomb site. Ended up being a 4 versus 2. The only person with a rifle gets full blind taken out, and then what's left? Apox at brackets. He's got a UMP, and Tux is hiding with the CZ in pit. The only big weaponries left on Chiefs are at the B bomb site because Solo's kept them there.
And you can see that that was just the scare, the fear that when you don't have enough utility to retake Nano, you don't know how many members of MVP are there. And that's really down to the informational play, as well as the fact that Chiefs were forced up in that round. They didn't have enough smoke grenades to use, didn't have enough flashbangs, didn't have enough incendiary grenades. And when you blow all of that, it means it's going to be very difficult holding on during the last couple of seconds in the half where all the action boils down. So that's what happened in that round. Now a bit of a technical pause coming out.
Yeah, feel like Chiefs were pretty fortunate winning that anti-eco round that MVP almost certainly should have locked down. But then once again, it's just been the same story again, Kev. They've just got nothing in the gun rounds. MVP's all over them for the most part. And unless these rounds start to get messy or the individuals step up for Chiefs, it feels like MVP's just going to run away from it.
I mean, this has been the story of a lot of CT halves, though, as well, is that they don't have enough money to really fight and adjust the T-side plan until maybe about the 5th or 6th round. So I'm not ready to count the Chiefs out just yet. I'm a bit of a more optimistic person.
I thought they already lost when they lost Nuke, mate, so at least we got a one believer.
Look, I like saying that they're in a dire situation, but there's never 100% in Counter-Strike. There's always that 1 or 2%. As it looks like it is a bit of an extended pause. I mean, Chiefs obviously not losing their map pick at the very end would definitely hurt their confidence moving forward, but they've got a game plan in Inferno. You know when you're versing MVP, you have to be either ready to ban out this map and maybe face off on Nuke, or potentially fight them out on this map. So they've still got a couple of rounds to try to get their economy in order, and we'll see how that works.
Going to be a save across the board here for Chiefs, for P250s and USPs. Going to stack towards that B bomb site and see how good of a job Tux does from the jungle position of convincing MVP that it's an A stack. I'm not sure it's really going to matter because a lot of the times in these anti-ecos, MVP is just going to throw an execute at you and you're not going to have a whole lot of opportunity to do so. However, this time, at least at the start of the round, just fairly spread out. Going to be punishing any aggression from the Chiefs side, holding some fairly standard positions. Apox going to cop a nade. Pretty standard stuff from this point. Zion once again in the apartments. He is for sure the landlord of that area in my opinion.
I mean, both on the T side and the CT side, he charged rent, and normally we say Sydney rent is exorbitant. I'd say that losing a life is probably a little bit more exorbitant than that.
Absolutely.
So a very, very slow round, and a default coming out from MVP.PK. As they are slowly crawling up to top mid to take control of this area in the back of the smoke grenade. Tux not going to be chancing his luck through it. But it does mean that the rest of the Chiefs boys are going to be pushing in Nana for information. Now, none of the team's going to hear this, and as the smoke fades, Zeph is able to pick them off quite nice and early. And now that's the go signal for MVP, maybe to go through this Archer's area, and they are going to be flitting by. Apoc inside the library, just going to be holding his fire. Might be able to drop the bomb carry if he peeked out just at the right time. But at this point in time, it wasn't to be. Maybe Chiefs still think it is going to be an A-bomb site, but it's going to be Zion lurking around. He loves Boiler, and Solo's also decided to join the party as well. So it could have been a little bit of danger for MVP if they didn't make a move on, or if a few pistols peeked out at the right time. But it is going to be a pretty clean shot out from here. None of the rifles lost just yet for MVP. And I don't think we're going to be seeing anything either. It's Zion that's left here. Oh, Dink goes down. Maybe Zion will lose his life. There it is. Sterling has an opportunity to retrieve an AK-47, but MVP, they're on the hunt.
Here it is now, Chiefs down 5-1 already, and the only round that they've been gifted was literally a gift because they had USPs. And Sterling Going to pick up another one on solo. Might be able to retain this AK, but he's quickly going to be hunted down by HSK. Doesn't even need a clear line of sight on Sterling. He's going to shoot him in the head regardless. And now, this is where I beg of Chiefs. We need to see some individual plays. They're playing so straight up. They're playing so standard, and PK is running all over them. That last map, the scores might have been close, but the duels were not. And Chiefs, we're going to have to start to see some texturing happening pretty soon here.
Yeah, Texter having a rough game so far. No kills just yet on the B bomb site. And you're going to be needing your B site holders to be stepping up their game. So it looks like Chiefs going to be contesting for that Nana control early on. You're going to expect to see a lot more of that coming into the rest of the half. Sterling going to be boosted up as well and going to be rewarded. A solo decides to just make his way back down into top or bottom mid. Texter does spot Zeph coming out through the edge of the smoke grenade, but can't win that duel on the back of the flashbangs. They're very low. This HE grenade should be able to polish him off. No, it doesn't. Only a single damage done to Zeph.
And yeah, Texter, like you said, having a poor performance, which is very out of character for him. He's one of the most consistent players in the APAC region, especially across such a large sample size and across 2 different teams. He's done such a good job, you know, just putting the frags on the board regardless. And interesting question to ask, is this new Chiefs style limiting what he can do and how much impact that he can have? And, you know, if that's the case, is that really worth it, Kev?
I don't think his style being limited. It's just him at the moment. Unlucky in the terms of the flashbang. You'd expect Texter normally to come out better on that one-on-one, but he's being flashed off right now. And MVP, this is not your normal Australian team. This is one of the best teams in the APAC region, and Texter has to rise up in the occasion. You're only as good as your opponent, this is what they say. And now the B-site execute is going to commence APOC. He's going to be cool under the pressure, under the fire. Knows he's got Tux in the flower bed. And down the flower bed, he's going to spray down one. Not going to be able to find the second, though. That's actually going to be APOC. But now MVP on the B-bomb site, low on HP. This is Chief's best chance so far to come back into the Zeph on 5, Glow on 28. Zeph, the AWP, is going to be looking for any opportunities he can find as soon as these smokes do fade. A single flashbang, that's going to be the go signal for the Chiefs. Time is ticking away. I don't know if there's a kit for them to work with. Glow, he's watching the correct direction, but 2 targets to find out. Flex is going to go first in, and there it is. Flex is going to find both of them. Both low. He's going to get both kills. Doesn't need a kit. And Chiefs do manage to pick up the buy round convincingly on the back of that B hold.
Good stuff, and Sterling opening things up. We're going to need to see way more of that from him. He's been so quiet most of this series, and he is the AWP presence that Chiefs need to really step up and take control of this game. I mean, HSK, as of late, form been very, very good, but definitely an AWPer that you can sometimes take advantage of if he's having a bit of a rough game, and then MVP can sometimes really lack an answer to an AWP taking over the game, and that might have been one of the keys to why they struggled so much against G2 on this map. I mean, Kenny S just took complete control of that match.
Well, this is Chief's turn now to start taking a bit control of the map, because we're seeing the double up now coming up, so Texter actually with the AWP as well. It's not too common to see, but not finding success with the rifle, so going to be switching over to the rifle with the scope. But MVP, maybe this is a signal that maybe they should start targeting the A-bomb site a little bit more. Most of their attention has been focused on the B-bomb site so far. Haven't really probed over into Diggity as well as apartments that often. Normally we see MVP going to A a lot more. As now, Chiefs, once again, this is just retaking Nana. I like seeing it.
Another Nana retake, very well structured from them. Smoke and then a Molotov in front of it. MVP's just going to concede control. They're not interested in fighting for it just yet. 3 players all set up on the A bomb site here, and Texter going to push forward with the AWP, and they're going to give him a lot of responsibility for a player who hasn't got himself on the board yet. They're going to let him take control of Nana by himself.
Yeah, but on the same side, the rest of MVP have lined up over at A, but this is really good for the CT side. They've got 4 members over there. I know more though, because Zeph is just too sharp for the entries. Texter, no opportunity whatsoever, and we're going to see 2 people start rotating back to B. And Glow, he can hear this.
Yeah, but look at the Glow. He's listening to all the rotations. The entire time that Zeph gets that pick, the bomb does not move an inch. Zion inches through apartments to gather information for MVP, and they're going to group up and hit the A site with only 2 people to defend.
Yeah, Motor Smoke comes up as well. Flicks and Tux there. The crossfire they have to be relying on. The rest of the CTs not going to be part of it. And Zeph just once again too sharp on the entries. 2 kills to add to his notch in the AK-47. Flashbang gets low. Tux trying his best, doing damage, but just not enough reinforcements there. And now the Smokes locking the CTs out of this. Sterling desperately trying to find any opening opportunities, but 4 Ts up on the board does mean that saving is the best option to go for. The CTs are going to be backing out of this in MVP. That is just some brilliance coming out from Zeph once again. Explosive on the T side. That's what we've come to expect so far from one of the veterans of the Korean scene. Just blowing apart these rounds and blowing apart Chiefs' hope of stringing rounds together.
Just so cool, calm, and collected from all of these Koreans at this point. I mean, Zeph just waiting for Chiefs to get more desperate. They know that they've already lost their map pick. MVP starting to run away with the game a bit. The only round that they have got, one was gifted to them basically, and the other one, Sterling, taking control with the AWP, and that's what Chiefs is going to have to do more. And MVP, they're just playing stock standard. They're waiting for Chiefs to make these mistakes this entire game. Zion's been sitting in the bottom of apartments waiting for someone to push, and round after round he does not budge. He doesn't get more aggressive. He doesn't try and pick someone on the side. He's waiting for that mistake to come in because he knows as soon as he punishes that, like Zeph just did on Banana, that's a free round for MVP.
And now we're seeing those mistakes culminate in the fact that Chiefs don't have much money to work with. Now they saved the double AWP over. Now the AWP given over into the hands of APOC instead. And he's going to be looking to try to find some damage on the B bomb site. This HE grenade is going to be doing more damage though. Action just going to be slowing down for now as the rest of MVP. This is the first time that Zion's come in. What a flashbang coming out! And Zion is completely blinding out Tux. I have never seen that in my life.
Yeah, they banked it off the door, but quickly Flick's looking like he's trying to chase this one down, moving into the window room.
Yeah, he does manage to get one opportunity. It just means that Zion just decides to go for a meander down apartments instead. And like we're saying, he charges rent quite at a very hefty price. That's the death of 2 members of the Chiefs. And they tried countering Zion. Well, you can't counter-strap the best player in Korea. As now, it is going to be this nana pressure. Zion's just by himself. He can just chill out in pit for days to come. He knows the CTs are going to be on edge. And the rest of MVP can play accordingly around this.
Yep, rent's due and the landlord's getting angry. Takes control of the pit as well, just getting himself more and more land to sell off to people. Seeing if he can grant this A bomb site towards MVP and give everyone a nice spot to live. As Flicks, he's trying to get his way into the boiler room, put a bit of a kink in the plans of MVP. And they're just taking their time for the next 30 seconds. They're walking, but he's going to start to hear footsteps pretty soon here.
Oh, you might actually find a few heads as well, but Brew doesn't land the CZ shots. It's going to be Zeph once again getting the entries. APOC was here fast. He knew that there was a player around the A-bomb site the entire time, but couldn't do anything about it. And as a result, MVP, they take the safe route. They all group up together, and now it looks like Zion is going to be on the hunt. He wants more kills. He is out for blood. And he might just find it because APOC is desperately trying to stay alive. Going to be locked down in Speedway. Will be able to back out. Still running, still trying to stay alive. Texas here with a rifle, but it could also mean that 2 CTs go down. Zion is just that kind of player who's watching these angles, but no, finally Texas on the board. As APOC also doing some damage. So at least the CT will keep the T side economy honest. They've lost a lot of rifles, but the rounds are now starting to pile on the favor of MVP.
All right there, anyone feeling a bit woozy? Hopefully not. As 7-2, like you said, for MVP, and they are just doing the same thing again and again. They fan out, they get the picks, they punish these mid-round plays from Chiefs, and they play with their rotations. They're doing a better job with the old Na'Vi style than current Na'Vi does themselves. And APOC and Tex are only ones with any equipment to speak of. Going to have to make some impact in this round. Quick down middle with an HE nade to boot and see if MVP is going to defend this.
Oh, so far it doesn't look like they will. Texter has decided to come alive in just a very pivotal round as well, the AK-47. But HSK out with the AWP. He's finding one. He's also getting more targets. He is now on the ace as well. I don't think he'll get it. Glo's watching the correct angle. And here it is. But what a round coming out from HSK to deflect all that aggression. That was looking very scary. Texter was looking like vintage Texter once again. But HSK showing what he's got on that T side of Inferno means that another dangerous round is navigated safely by MVP.
Absolutely, and now Chiefs with another opportunity back into this half. Not much Molotovs, in fact, none across the board for the entire Chiefs side, and that's going to be a real problem if you're looking to slow down any of MVP's pushes. I mean, now they've had so much success with just this fan out and play with the rotation style, running the clock right down to the last second and playing with Chiefs' head, playing with the rotations. This time they throw in a bit more of a quick one. HSK, he's had the 4 kills. He got deprived of the 5th in the last round, but he's not going to let this one slide. Picks it up in this one and see if he's able to get the ace this time.
Yeah, this leaves a lot of pressure on APOC as well, because you can see the rest of the Chiefs members have just decided to stack into Diggity instead. The old Oz classic. For the overseas people, that's quad, by the way. If you ever hear us talking about Diggity, it's quad. There's a story behind it, but I'm not sure if we're the ones. I mean, Mitch and I are fairly newcomers into Counter-Strike in terms of everything.
Basically, there was a guy in 1.6 from Australia.
Named
His
Diggity.
name was Diggity, and he was good.
Oh, it wasn't as good. It was a phenomenal round coming out from that quad position in 1.6.
I think I did the story plenty of justice there, Kevin.
I don't think you did, but now it is now APOC's turn. Maybe this what we can call the APOC position as well. Definitely a big chance to shut down this B bomb site take. A lot of responsibility as well. This is it. Now they're coming into the B bomb site. APOC trying to spray through the smoke to find any damage. Won't be able to connect any of the bullets.
Look at this though, Zion slipping up through the brackets, just listening for all the footsteps, and he's heard the rotation come out of Chiefs, but there's still 2 people just sitting in this A bomb site. Looking like they might just be saving at this point, and can't blame them. They haven't been too successful on the retakes whatsoever, and Zion.
He's on the hunt. He's looking for targets, and might be able to find a few kills here and there, but eventually it does get nullified. I think for MVP, they just need to back off and save here. The money isn't the best really to be going hunting all the time, and we're seeing some of the members are going in, but not going in too hard. But 9-2, we saw this a nuke. Now, can Chiefs come back and start stringing together a few rounds? Because this is now dire situations indeed. We've only got 4 rounds left in this half, and this could be the difference between Chiefs getting an okay half on the CT side, given the context of the story, or just getting completely pummeled out of not only this game, out of the series as well, and out of IEM Sydney.
Yeah, we were getting pretty worried after Chiefs did concede their map pick in nail-biting fashion last map. And sometimes, you know, when you're not feeling too confident, you know, Chiefs have a relatively new player in APOC, only really played the qualifier for this tournament. Even the rest of their lineup only been together for a month or 2 months or so. They might not have had the time to gel and mesh that they need to. The individual players might not feel comfortable in this system. And the problem is that when you're going up against a team with such chemistry and cohesion and depth of map pool like MVP, you play a best of 3, giving them the second map and just saying, we'll win the first one and we'll win the third. And you guys can have the second map. We're going to 2-1 you, and that's our veto strategy. And there's nothing wrong with that until you lose the first map, Kev.
And now it's coming all to a head in the second map where Chiefs desperately start needing to get some rounds on the CT side. They've only had 2 so far. A phenomenal pistol round in terms of they had USPs and the enemies had MAC-10s and AKs, a few HE grenades, and sharpshooting did the trick and 1 buy round. And that's literally been it. There's been nothing so far.
Going back to the veto strategy once again, like the way that this game's playing out, it's clear that Chiefs have a few things prepared, but they're not ready on this map to go up against an opponent like MVP. Why would you ban out Dust 2 in favor of Inferno? Surely you'd have a better chance at pugging them out on a map like Dust 2.
I mean, sometimes you don't want to be pugging out against a very, very firepower-orientated MVP as well, because that's a different story to tell as Textile loses that duel. And APOC is coming in. He does well to at least get the 1-for-1 trade, but at the same time, there's more action happening over at top mid, where Tux, he can't find the picks that he needs to. Now the B side open for business. Everywhere is open for business, and it's all down to Flicks to try to find a miracle. And a miracle he does have to try to find because he's surrounded from 2 angles. Zion just coming out of apartments once again. He's been an absolute nuisance. An MVP on double digits, Chiefs. I mean, they do have a little bit of cash, but it's just pretty much the same old story.
Yeah, pretty much buying into this one because why not? We're down so many rounds at this point. We got to start from somewhere. Not every round can you have all the utility that you need, all the best weaponry, and it's going to be the unfortunate conclusion Chiefs will have to come to. But MVP being complete in control of this half, no matter what weaponry Chiefs is going. But they're going to go fast down mid, a bit of a change up, and this is good.
Yeah, I mean, this may work out, but Zeph has already gotten the headshot on one, and he's still able to turn around and get more kills. These are great flashbangs, though, doing a lot of disruption, and now Sterling as well, able to hold on to top mid to make sure that Boiler is nullified. I think they have spotted Glow trying to come into apartments. They'll let him bypass it for now, but it's still going to be very difficult for MVP to actually win this round, so maybe that is the ticket for Chiefs, just aggression. Sometimes it is foolish aggression, but it works out perfectly from that one. And Sterling shoulder peeking at the right time, getting a lot of information, being the distraction, allows Tuck to pick up the kill, as well as an assault rifle. This is now MVP's round to really try to take and win, because Chiefs have done the hard work.
And this is what we needed to see from Chiefs. We've got APOC playing retake at Coffins, but you playing a team that's played this map so many times, you need to create chaos and give them a different look that they haven't seen before if you're going to have any opportunity at winning.
Yep, and APOC, I mean, 2 low HP members. Solo's got the AWP, so he knows where the opponent is and is able to get the trade. Planning out in the open, very, very brave coming out from Solo, but he'll be afforded the bomb plant. He also hears Sterling rotating in from Nana with the AWP. It's just going to be the one-shot kill. Sterling not reacting to the scope. Tuck's not busting out through the smoke fast enough. He's still crawling up. It's Solo! He's going to peek out with the AWP and complete the 1-on-3 clutch. That is vintage Solo coming out, and that is just the Chiefs. Once again, they had everything to work with, and they falter at the hurdle.
Can't let Solo get away with those rounds. Chiefs, you know, they had the right idea. They can't play this straight-up game against an MVP that's played this map a million times. It's right at the top of their map pool, straight in their comfort zone. And Chiefs pushing straight down mid, throwing flashbang after flashbang, trying to make MVP uncomfortable and get themselves back in this game. But you can't account for Solo just completely outplaying you in the 1v3.
Look at this, HSK just fast up mid right now, but Sterling with a Deagle. That's the 1B. Oh, that's the 2B as well. He's going to retrieve the AK-47. Maybe this is a little bit of a chance now for the Chiefs, but Sterling, he's going to retrieve the AK-47, not have the luck he did from earlier on. Flicks, at the very least, able to nullify any apartment's aggression. So this is still a winnable round for the Chiefs, as now everything has reset to neutral positions. Very defensive from the CT side and for the T side. So early action into a lull.
Yep. 4 versus 2, and PK just waiting to see if they can punish any of the aggression that Chiefs might be throwing at them. However, you'd expect them to just pair up and try to get the trades at this point. Just hold on to the bomb sites. Zeph's going to pick up this AK and give the AWP over to Solo. He did such good work with it in the last round, and they're going to start walk towards B. This isn't going to give any footsteps to the Chiefs players, so they're going to have to rely on getting both of these picks fairly quickly, or at least 2 for 1ing and letting it resolve in the post plant.
Here comes the smoke, so they're going to know it's the B bomb site, and Zeph just going to be smoking off coffins or waiting for the smoke for the coffins to bloom. Now the rotation's coming out from APOC. They're going to hear this. Now only killing 1 at first oranges. They're not going to expect Techstar. And Chiefs pick up another pistol round of the back of Sterling, getting 2 at the top mid. So we're into the final round, and maybe Chiefs can make it 4 rounds. At least something to fight with. But MVP, a lot of money as well.
Yeah, I really don't feel too optimistic about the Chiefs' T side of Inferno. Map they previously chose to veto, as we mentioned before, and unless they have something very special planned and, you know, they're a little bit more organized than their CT side have been. Not feeling too optimistic. Let's see how the start of this round goes. It's going to be 3 quickly towards Nana for Chiefs. They're going to try and take control of it. Molotov close, Molotov deep. HE nade onto the tree, and here comes the flashbang from Techstar. Once again, going to be given a lot of responsibility, but Zeph, he's been rock solid on this Nana control, and he's not going to let Chiefs have it for free. Zine, easy pick onto Flicks. Another one onto Sterling.
A nightmare on Tux, thank goodness. If you got that pick on the Tux as well, that would have been absolutely absurd. But now they're dueling it out at Nana. They expected the rotation, but APOC's still here, looking to fight. APOC's going to have to go huge with the AK-47, but HSK, he just uses the CZ like an extension of his hand, and it means that APOC can't take down any more than 1. And it's all down to Tux in the final round of this half to try to create any opportunities he can. The last remaining member of the Chiefs lineup of 2017 has to try to go through the smoke. Nothing afforded. It's a 12-3 half for MVP. Can Chiefs come back, or is it going to be a 2-0? Have to find out after the break. MVP chilling out and looking like they want to be enjoying a start at the beach because they are up ahead in the series as well as in this map. They're up 1-0 so far. We're into the second map of Inferno and they've just come off a 12-3 half after the T side. Now onto the CT side against the Chiefs. This is do or die right now. We'd say that a lot, but this is literally it. This is the elimination match for the lower bracket. Whoever loses this is going back home. Whoever wins this continues their run, their hopes, their dreams of making it over into the Qudos Bank Arena, into the quarterfinals, the semifinals, or into the quarterfinals in particular. But here we are into the pistol round, Mitch.
And Chiefs showed some resilience in the second half of the last match, but that was on their map pick on a comfortable CT side of Nuke. Don't know if they'll be as comfortable on T side. Here comes the action into apartments and up mid from Chiefs. I'm going to drop the smoke and just hold the edge of it.
Oh, this is just vintage design once again. This man is just the master of apartments. He's got the smoke, he's got the CZ. He will be challenging. Flick's doing a lot of damage. No, Signlock's playing close. It doesn't matter though. Sign just still getting 2 kills with the CZ. Flick's finally able to take him out, but maybe the damage has been done. Flick still needs to reload. Bomb lost on the site. The rest of the 2Ts slowly crawling up still. Sterling locked behind the moto smoke at the very least, able to catch Zeph off by surprise. But now Sterling's the last man left standing. There were just too many members defending the bomb site. There's nothing that Flicks could do. And Bomb all the way in the open for Diggity. As... oh, this is going to be so rough for Sterling. The young talent coming in for the Chiefs. So much hope, so many dreams now resting on his shoulders.
Must-win pistol for Chiefs, and that's a very high-pressure scenario to be putting him in. It all starts one headshot at a time, not able to land any just yet.
No, he's retrieved the USP, though. That is going to be helping his endeavor into the A bomb site, but time is starting to tick away. The CT's going to be peeking in together. Solo, he's calling for it. He's spotting it. There's still one back of sight, and Sterling just going to be swung on by 3 targets. Overwhelmed, overswarmed. MVP with a pistol. Chiefs, I think this is it. They have to win a pistol round.
Chiefs' hopes and dreams snapped away of even close to getting to the arena by MVP. 13-3. Pretty much Mount Everest to climb for Chiefs at this point. They're going to have to force up into this, and that's just going to be the first of too many for them to bring away at this point, because I've seen MVP's CT side on this map. It's pretty much rock solid, so unless they can bring a wrecking ball into this, I don't think Chiefs has got much chance.
They're going to have to be swinging in, and sometimes you just need to close your eyes and swing and just hope for the best. But now, this is just classic MVP, just coming in and just taking this Nana control off that T side. But what a shot coming out from Sterling on the SSG. It is going to be going through that little car wall. Can we even really call it car? I don't think there is a car there anymore.
I don't know, you can roll on a couple of barrels, one
yeah.
for each leg. There's 4 there. That's 4 wheels of a car.
I don't know if we can
4
call
minus
it.
1 is 3. 3 sides to a triangle.
All right, maybe we're getting a little bit loose at the moment, because that is currently what the score is for the Chiefs. They've got a triangle in MVP. They've got just a little bit more than 4 triangles. I don't know what a 13-sided shape is, okay, so... But they definitely have a chance in this one. Zets tagged down very, very low. They are going to be crawling up into Nana.
1 smoke to play with for Flicks. And he's going to be running into 2 MVP, or... Yep. 2 MVP players, one of them very low. Oh, Sterling, second scout headshot.
Absolutely beautiful. And now comes that attack. And that is exactly what the Chiefs needed. Sterling on the scout, getting the 2 hot headshots that they needed. And now the HE grenade and Sterling with the follow-up. That is good from the Chiefs. That's bought themselves a bit of a life in this game, as they are able to take the eco or the force buy in this one and probably force MVP into their own force buy. 4 up as well means they can retrieve weapons and keep it up at Sterling. What a time to show up.
Zion runs straight back to the apartments. He's had enough. All his friends are dead and he's going home. Bomb will be exploding pretty soon here, and Zion, don't know how much he really cares about holding on to the MP9. I suppose he could make some pretty good money with it next round if he catches some of these Chiefs players with the less than ideal weaponry, although he does pretty much use it like a laser beam, as we saw in the last map.
What I was about to say is that you think the MP9 is like, you look at it, okay, it's $1,250 or $1,250, and it should have an accuracy like an SMG and damage fall off, and it's only someone's dead in 2-3 bullets because Zion just headshot them.
Well, if the bullets come out faster than the rifle that does more damage, and they're accurate, makes it look like he did get 1 bead. Going to be just the very passive approach here from MVP. So many rounds to play with. Who cares if you get 6? That's not even half of our round count. We want all the utility we can work with, and Solo is going to pick up the Deagle, see if he can chip away at some of the money of Chiefs here.
I mean, I was going to say just before Solo caught the nade as well, is that this is good from MVP. Normally you start seeing maybe a few teams actually force buy in this scenario, but you don't need to on the side of MVP. You've got these rounds to work with, so you don't need to be hurrying to end the game. You've got everything to finish it off, so you might as well take your time.
Absolutely, and Solo going to be trusted with a lot of responsibility here. Only 1 on this B bomb site, while Chiefs do kind of posture towards B initially, but now they're going to move back up towards mid. And it's looking like MVP. They might be challenging top mid pretty soon here. Sterling with the MP9 with a lot of money to make.
Oh, this is going to be scary as well, because there's a lot of members right now. There is going to be the stack. They're going to be swinging out, but not much damage done overall on the pistols. HSK, he does manage to get a few more shots down. At the end, Solo, this is actually very winnable for him because the bomb's been left behind. Now, if Solo decides to chance his way through the smoke at the right time, might be able to find the pristine opportunity. Both of the members low. Retrieving an MP7 has got enough bullets in it. Oh, they almost line up as well, but Sterling looks at the right time. Once again, young Sterling picking up 4 kills and just barreling Chiefs out of a dire situation. That was very scary indeed. But Chiefs do come out on top of that round. MVP just going to be on the eco once again. Not going to be buying up into this.
Sterling once again dragging Chiefs, kicking and screaming back into this map. Going to be one of the last times we'll ever be seeing that sideways at one-handed SMG animation, as that's been taken out of the game. This has all been playing on a previous patch, but won't be sad to see that one go myself. Let's see what Chiefs' approach here is. Looks like a fairly standard one. Molotov up to the top of car, a couple flashbangs being expended. Only we'll have to deal with the 2 CZs, although we saw how much the fairly weak pistols did last round. Now we've got the CZs to deal with. Good luck to Chiefs.
So a very slow approach coming out from the Chiefs. A bit of an intermission currently in this frantic action. And a good attempt coming out from MVP. But what is better? Once again, young Sterling with the MP9. Just getting all these kills and racking up cash. Looking for more as well. And there it is. He's using the MP9. So pristine effectiveness. Now Zion, he's going to be the last man once again for MVP, just on the wrong bomb site. That's all right, he's only got a CZ, but Chiefs are going to be starting to get a bit of confidence back on this, especially Sterling. He is now having a great game on Inferno so far, and who knows, this might be the start of a very long road back for the Chiefs.
Squatting behind the pot plant will be Zion. Just with the CZ, seeing if he can get any extra damage done. Sterling farming himself a lot of kills up in the last couple of rounds. Definitely going to be building his confidence, but it's going to have to be a team effort here for Chiefs. It can't just be one player stepping up. They can't play with our hearts like this. String a couple rounds together, but MVP is arguably just letting them having by saving the money. And let's hope that MVP doesn't crush their dreams too quickly here and we get to see some more exciting Counter-Strike. Sterling just going to execute Zion from behind, thinking about going for the knife because they need every single dollar they can get in their bank accounts. But 600 will have to be good enough in this regard.
Sterling in the last 3 rounds has picked up pretty much 11 kills.
Something like that.
And that is exactly maybe what the Chiefs needed. Sterling now having a great performance, still looking to cut that MP9 forward. I don't know if this is the best decision. Maybe you want to be upgrading Sterling. You know MVP are coming at you with a buy, but that's the confidence, I guess. If you've got the MP9, you're feeling it, just got to keep rolling with it, even if you consider the scoreline is still very, very heavily in the favor of MVP. But now the attack coming out from the Chiefs.
Molotov being put out here by Texter, and a lot of utility being expended towards Nana by MVP, and good decision from them to take the eco with such a huge round buffer to work with moving forward into this game, because in all honesty, even if Chiefs does start to mount a comeback, just conceding those 2 rounds to them fairly early on is just going to keep buffering their bank account with the loss bonus again and again, and they're just going to have to take less and less ecos. That is a dunk nade straight onto Solo, 98 damage straight into his health pool. Luckily, he'll be alive to at least be able to take one more shot in this round. Zeph going to be boosted up onto second oranges, and Chiefs crawling up mid, bit of apartments control, crawling towards Nana, and plenty of utility left, looking like they might set up and execute towards this B site. But first, will they prod these defenders off brackets? They'll need to if they're going to limit MVP's information at this point.
And for now as well, with Solo so low, it's going to be so dangerous for him to be holding anywhere on the B bomb site. He is still going to be holding firm right now. Got 30 seconds left. Chiefs going to be faking an A site take,
like
but
this,
the
Kevin.
reality, it's the B bomb site. I'm loving how Chiefs are playing with the information, but it looks like, look at MVP, look at how they're reacting. They're pushing through the smoke. Zion taking a lot of damage early on, but he still comes out on top of that deal. He gets all the information. What an entry coming out from Texter. Now out comes the entries. Texter with 2. That's what they need, and they've got the access to the B bomb site, but with MVP pushing top mid earlier, they've got a lot of information to work with. Glow trying to spray through the construction window. The glass not shattering just yet. Pretty stern stuff, that. MVP have to try to retake here or back out. It looks like back out is going to be the call. It is going to be a risky back out, but Sterling is spotting them, just trying to fall back. That is another M4 that can't be saved over. HSK taking some further damage as well. Chiefs doing very, very well to take that B bomb site. Loved how they did it. MVP trying throwing spanners in the works. It's not working out. Maybe Chiefs have a chance in this now.
Absolutely, and they're going to be hunting down these players. They don't even necessarily need these kills so much, but they have so much money to play with at this point. It's going to be quick here.
Yeah, an A-box flash out HSK, and he will be able to get a flick in time. The AWP won't be saved over. Nothing will be saved over for MVP. Every single gun dropped to the ground into the netherness. And Chiefs, you can see now they're really believing it. Look how firmly they're sitting up, Mitch. They know that this is their time to come back.
MVP going to be forced on the single save, at least at this point. Just a single save, though, and even after that, they may have opportunity to go for a bit of a change-up, maybe into the double AWP. Chiefs still 5 rounds behind if they do secure this one, and going to be interesting to see how that develops.
I mean, they already had the double AWP in that one, and Solo absolutely no impact whatsoever, as Chiefs are just taking critical map control so easily right now. And that's not easy to do against MVP.
Well, we'll see if MVP start to make some change-ups. I mean, in that last round, that was played so well for Chiefs, but how many more times are they going to be able to pull that off realistically? Flash comes out for MVP, and they're going to be trying to go for some of these pistol kills, but Chiefs wisely back off, and there will be no action at this point. Just walking up the banana area, Chiefs looking very coordinated, looking calm and collected, and that's what they're going to need. One round at a time. They can give MVP one more without getting a match point. APOC going to quickly take the head off of Zeph. Solo just playing crossfire here with HSK, but they will be separated with the smoke if Chiefs decide to go into this B bomb site, and Solo moves his way to Coffins.
Yeah, he just got a bit of information, still looking to try to find maybe a bit more heads, a bit more damage, but is chancing against the AK of APOC. But Sign, how is he already here fast behind? He's still pushing in. The other Madman hasn't even reloaded the clip. Gets another dink off as well. And now they might be backtracking to A or committing to B. Who knows just yet? Just dropping a single smoke grenade. It is up to Glow, really, just to rotate out. They are going to be dropping a bit more utility on the B bomb site, but they're fast in A. Glow decided to commit to B. It is the wrong call on the side of the CT side. It is going to be an all-around for the Chiefs. Make it 5 in a row now. It is up to probably MVP just to do a little bit of damage, but otherwise this round, another Chiefs victory.
Able to recompose themselves and just go around to the other bomb site. Definitely could have got dangerous there. Zine making them panic a little bit, but luckily they're going to be able to bail themselves out, rotating around to the A bomb site, and AK retained there for MVP. Like they need more money with all the loss bonus they'll be building up as this game develops. And Chiefs, here's the thing, keys to victory for them. Obviously, that last gun round that we saw was beautiful stuff, playing with the rotations of MVP, getting all the entries that they needed. But moving forward in this game, economy could potentially be a factor if they're able to get the scores quite close with MVP. They can allow MVP to have one CT round here without giving them match point. And if you're aiming for the 16-14 here, ideally you want to start to get yourselves, get yourselves the next couple of rounds, 4 or 5 rounds consecutively. Like, that's an easy task in the first place. But if they're able to do that, and they break MVP's economy at a critical point, they could put themselves in a huge advantageous position to try and close this map out, especially if these AWPs keep being purchased across the board for MVP.
Yeah, and there's always that reset potential for the CT Sign as well. So another buy round coming out of MVP. It is just going to be the single AWP in the hands of Solo, not on HSK, deciding to keep that AK-47 instead, they say from previous round. And now a lot of grenades being done, a lot of damage as well. APOC is just going to cop an AWP bullet straight in. He's going to be playing around the edge of the smoke. A lot of damage being done, and Zeph just spraying like a madman. Managing to caching text up. APOC does manage to back out in time as more HE grenades being flung over Anana. But look at the damage already done. There's been no control whatsoever for the T side. Now Solo just wallbanging APOC. The follow-up, the finisher. And this is a disaster coming out for the Chiefs. They try to take the Zana position, but MVP just throw everything at it. We say throw in the kitchen sink. They threw more than just the kitchen sink. They threw an entire plane at it, and you can see the damage incurred by the Chiefs. Well, it's still 3 up, though.
Going to take a massive individual play. Sterling's still alive, so who knows? Flicks being a player historically who's able to bail many of his teams out with a huge individual play in certain situations, but it's not looking likely here for Chiefs. All gathered up towards Nana. These A players still have brackets, more or less, as we have Glow, I think it is, still just staring towards the top of the jungle area of brackets there. He's probably going to go for a pick for some information, just confirm whether it's A or B at this point.
This is really smart coming out from Chiefs. They need to all commit on the same bomb site. I don't know if they spotted out the ghost of or the shadow of Zeph, but he's just playing around the edge of the smoke. They're going through construction, a bit of MVP zone plan themselves, and they have been able to make their way around the smoke and into the Coffins area. Now Solo will reposition himself, knows he's got the teammate in position, going to be busting out the smoke. Solo can't land the first shot. Zeph getting the spray down on 1. Now it's going to be the rest of the reinforcements coming forward. B site under lockdown, 3 up for MVP, 14-8.
Good change up for Chiefs and good attempt, but they just lost too much too fast to all the utility, the grenades, the Molotovs, the spam from Solo. They lose 2 players so quickly into that round, and you just can't recover from that point. Plenty of money still on the board for Chiefs, but they have conceded the 14th round to MVP. There will be no reset potential. There will be no preventing of match point to be gained by MVP, and they have zero margin for error if they do lose this round.
All AKs out for the Chiefs, and it looks like they're just giving a lot of respect now to the Banana take MVP. Just incendiary grenades on the entire Banana. If there was an actual fruit there, it'd be completely burnt. Notice how much emphasis MVP are putting into it at the moment.
Well, you got your plantains and stuff like that you fry up, fried banana fritters.
That's not
so
fried.
bad.
That's not even just deep fried. That is, you're literally burning it into crisp char. That's how much emphasis they're putting in this position at the moment. And you see Chiefs, they're deciding to go for plan A, not plan B.
He's in A bomb site. It's Glow setting up, but he will just be retreating into that cubby area. Smoke comes out towards the top of brackets. Doesn't look like Chiefs is actually going to use this too much yet. Just walking back, volleyed out of the cubby will be Glow rather, but he doesn't quite get taken out there. Molotov just pushing him out of position. Look at this. Solo locking down Banana. Going to be flashed off the line. There's 4 people on the A bomb site here still for Chiefs, but pushing Solo off this line is going to cause the rotation here.
Yeah, he has to drop the smoke and just hold on for dear life right now. The rotation may be coming in a little bit too late, especially if Chiefs decide to go through the smoke. They are just going to be waiting. They're going to be lining up their own Molotovs and 2 smoke grenades. This is it. There's going to be no more fakes, especially with the contact at top mid right now.
This full execute is so hard to stop, even with 2 people on the bomb side. If he gets Molotov out of position, this could be huge, Kev.
Oh, but Solo's there with the off from back to side. The Molotov hasn't touched him. Solo's still alive. He's got Zeph as a reinforcement. Solo's still alive. That flank is not going to be there in time. Sterling trying to find this player at the back of side. That is where the M4 headshot was effective. Now Flick, he's the last man left standing. He's going to hit the floor. MVP are going to be on serious point, and Chiefs, they've got enough to fight for this last round, but MVP seem to have found their groove once again.
Molotov's just not hitting the right spot on that execute. Flashbang's ineffective, and Chiefs get picked on the entry. MVP, they're all over this B hole. Doesn't matter whether you go through construction. Doesn't matter if you execute onto the site straight up. They're 100% ready for it, and they're able to defend that with ease. Taking over Banana control, attacking the B side. It doesn't matter where you go. MVP seems to be all over it at this point, Kev.
Yeah, and now it is Chiefs' last chance, and this is not a good start already. Eating these HE grenades and APOC. He does return the favor, though, doing a lot of damage in Zion. We've seen this time and time again through the smoke and just outclass his opposition. And once again, the opening pick onto Flicks. Nothing you can do. He changes it up so many times. Nana control in the favor of the CTs. Apartments control now in the favor of the CTs. Chiefs running out of lives, running out of people, running out of time.
Absolutely, 5-on-3 once again. They've just lost everything before they can even get any map control. Zine looking to pick up Texture as well.
Yep, Zion's just a one-man army at the moment. He is just a single-handed shutdown, and now it's all down to young Sterling. He is by himself, and Glow's going to give him the how you do through the smoke. 16-8 victory for MVP.PK as they win the series against the Chiefs. And the Chiefs were so close last year, but they do bow out, unfortunately, this time around against a very dominant MVP.
Absolutely, just outclassing them there on Inferno. Like I said, as soon as Chiefs conceded nuke there, that series is pretty much over, and they will bow out of IEM Sydney. Had a nice upset last year, took out North with a completely different roster, but this roster is going to need more time. Sydney was not their chance.
No, it wasn't just yet, but they've done a lot of hard work to get here, obviously, and although they have bowed out of this competition, no doubt they'll learn a lot, not only from these experiences, but in this next week where they have that opportunity to boot camp against some of the world's best teams as well.
Absolutely, and you know, that's no opportunity that you can pass up now. Chiefs also joining that list of teams that definitely will benefit from that. Most of those being the APAC teams. I mean, Legacy, your Chiefs, definitely going to be benefiting from these experiences. Can't really say the same for SK as much because they'd probably be used to that top level prac, but you know, we'll see. Maybe they'll have some extra free time to give Chiefs a few scrims here and there.
Yeah, I mean, start from the basic, get the fundamentals right, and then start working from there. That's pretty much Counter-Strike board down to perfection. I mean, we see Astralis. That is literally just the basics worked up into a perfect basic, should I say, and then you execute on top of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, once you build up that fundamentals and the basic level, you can start moving into the other stuff, I guess.
All right, so let's bring it back into the series overall. So MVP did just manage to take down the 2-0 victory against Chiefs. 16-14 on Nuke. It was a nail biter at the very end, and Inferno was a lot more convincing. A 19-8, I believe it was at the end of the, or 16-8, sorry, at the end of the day, not a 19. But overall, I think MVP on Inferno, it's still a scary thing to be encountering up. Chiefs had a good chance in their T side, but unfortunately just not enough in their CT side to fight with.
Yeah, look, they tried to do a tricky map veto, and unfortunately, although they might have thought that their nuke was going to be a lot better than it actually was, although the CT side was quite solid, I mean, you just can't be doing those veto strategies where you give your opponent one of their best maps to go straight into. And I mean, I don't understand the logic from Chiefs there. They must have had something particular in mind. They must have tried to study their opponents on a particular map and just get it down to maps that they wanted to be more prepared on. But unfortunately, you just can't go picking one of MVP's best into them if you're not able to close out the map, if your T-Star's not as solid as it needs to be, and you can't be letting them have Inferno and just vetoing Dust 2 because you're unfamiliar with it. You're already conceding the veto advantage as the underdogs. At some point, you got to play veto chicken.
Yeah, so that is our first elimination match done and dusted for now. So it is going to be a victory for MVP.PK, but we do have another series coming up. It's going to be Cloud9 up against Order. Don't go anywhere.